Yeah, again, a great basketball game no matter who you're pulling for, and we've had several of those. Our conference championship was the same type of game. I think we were down 9 or 11 with 3 minutes to go. And obviously, you have to do some things well, and you got to get a little bit lucky at the same time. But our guys are really close, and these two guys sitting my left and right have been a big part of those comebacks. And so we're excited to be still dancing, and we still got a lot of work to do.
What does it say about the kind of innate ability of your team? Like you mentioned in the LMU game, it's not the first time you guys have done this, let alone in the last week. To find just any way to come back in that game.
Yeah, I think, number one, we don't want to put ourselves in those situations, but I think secondly, we practice them, number one, being down, maybe don't practice down being that much, but we just, on the board, we right before every game, 15 or 16 guys for 40 minutes or however long it takes. And it just seems like as the game goes on, we become more connected. And I think that has a lot to do with some guys. We've got 6 seniors and several 2 or 3 3-year guys that have been with us as well. So I think they understand that and are mature, and that's a big part of it. And we won some other close games during the conference play too. So you can hear in the huddle all the time, we've been here before, and so that kind of is an underlining, resounding confidence. Obviously, they got to miss some free throws and some stuff like that as well, but. We're happy to be advancing.
You bring up free throws, Chris. I want to ask you. There were 88 free throws attempted between the two teams in this game. You had 12 of them, made all 12. I think it just goes to show how important it is to knock down your free throws. How much is that an emphasis of your game on days off and on practice days for nights like tonight?
Yeah, every day when we're in the gym, after we get shots up, we try to make 10 in a row. And as a team, we focus on free throws. At halftime, we have goals for how many we want to make, how many we want to get to the line, and the percentage. So we just got to go up there with confidence and knock them down.
And Caleb, for you, 20 points, 7 rebounds in this game, obviously a big factor, fighting in overtime. It seemed like you were a pretty big roll down the stretch for your team, trying to find a way to come back. How do you prepare for a game like that, other than what your coach talked about, just the real life experience? There's not much ways to practice that situation where you guys can be so successful at it.
Well, I think first you have to understand how important being in the moment is, because like you said, it's not easy or simple to simulate practice to make it feel like a game like that. So Coach always puts emphasis on being in the moment, having unwavering focus through the huddles on the court, especially when we're playing defense on the further end. And I just give credit to the coaching staff, to be honest, because they prepare us the best way possible. Like Coach said, to pull off 2 games in a row like that, I think it just goes to show that the first one may have not been luck. There's definitely luck included. It's March Madness, not called Madness for a reason. Or for no reason, excuse me, but I think that just is a testament to the type of work and preparation that our coaches put us through. So.
Coach, when you guys make the comeback at the end of regulation and you tie it and force overtime, I think that's a spot where it may feel like you got over the hump. But then Pembroke goes on that run and they take the lead in overtime. I mean, how difficult is it as a head coach to
win it twice,
to do it again?
Well, I'll tell you, ironically, and there's no drill for experience. So at LMU, we ended with we were down 11, and we scored 14 in a row, or down 10 and scored 13 in a row, and then we were up 3, and they hit a 3 today for them to send it into overtime. So we've been on that other side of the coin, and we just refer to that statement on our wax board before every game. So, actually, they would have had the momentum going in there, but you wouldn't have known that if you went into our huddle, because I heard one of our players, I don't know who it was, they said, whatever it takes. And so that was, and I think that's one element of that. And then that's why we fouled, to be honest, the first time when we were up 3, we fouled with 11 seconds to go. We don't want this to happen again. those two scenarios, it happened earlier this year. We got lost to Wingate in overtime. They were coming full with 20 seconds to go. And then in that game, the LMU game, they were coming full with 16 seconds to go. It was 11, so we figured we could get closer to the end by fouling about the opposite volleyball line. Your court doesn't have volleyball lines, so we had to draw it on the wax board. But, I just think, again, there's no drill for experience, but also, we've got some high IQ guys. So, I can draw up all that we want, and we made some good plays off, drawn up plays, like start the overtime, we had an intentional backdoor. But then more plays are made through reads, and just being connected with one another. And what I love is I'll sit at dinner and I'll just sit away from all the guys and just listen to these guys talk and how connected they are and how real they are with each other about their strengths and their weaknesses. And they use humor to break through. And it's so funny that there's growth on the floor by a meal together off the floor. And you don't really understand that if you just sit and listen to these guys or listen to their conversations as you walk through the halls in the hotels. So, and then, last year we had a sour taste. And I got to give a lot of credit. Drew Richards, a good friend of mine. We lost to him by 1, was it last year? During the regular season. We missed a free throw to tie it. So we've had some battles. In 2019, we beat him in the NCAA tournament, but we lost to him in overtime during the regular season. So we've had some tremendous battles. A bunch of respect for those guys. He does a great job. He's one a toughness team, and we said we have to match that. We have to do a good job. I don't know how we did on the boards. They hurt us on the boards. It was 46-37. So we got a little lucky in that category. And we forced more turnovers in the second half. That's kind of been our shtick. We've always we've been usually +8, +10 on the turnover margin. If you can kind of compare it to a football stat, today we're only like +2 or +3. So we found a way to maximize what we did have, and that's what I'm proud of.
Guys, Coach, congrats on the win. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Right.